everyone, welcome back to Noches con la Gente. This is gonna be our second episode, kind of the spring quarter. I know last time our first episode was posted like on YouTube, kind of like during finals week. But then it was officially posted like it was live on air last week. So that was our first episode, I guess, kind of, although it was filmed in March. But since that was our first episode, for this episode we decided to kind of focus it on ourselves and have like conversation about like who we are, but also like get to know each other while like letting you guys know like who we are. But yeah, so we're gonna fully like introduce ourselves. But yeah, does anybody want to first introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is DJ Spidey. Well, that's my DJ name.
Yes.
Do I say like rest of it?
Yeah, you can say like the majoring year and like, yeah, because we have two proposed questions, like what's your favorite class that you're taking this quarter, and then what brought you to join La Gente. So if you want to do either or.
Yeah. So I'm a political science major, a second year, and I'm also minoring in public affairs. And I joined La Gente just because I think generally I like to talk, but also I feel like it's really important to like have a space where like you could have like conversations where it's like could be fun, but it could also be like informative and like just having important conversations all around.
Yes.
Hi guys, I'm DJ Womp. I'm also a poli-sci major. I'm a third year transfer from like Culver City, which is pretty close to Westwood. Currently my favorite classes right now are political economy of development, because we talk a lot about like foreign aid, and it opens your eyes being from like a developed country and how people often see developing countries from our viewpoint, and it's just like a different perspective. Also, I'm taking authoritarian figures, which is very important in today's climate with our current administration. And yeah, I'll pass it on to the next DJ.
Hey y'all, I'm DJ ChismosaVirus. I'm an anthro major, anthropology with like a focus on sociocultural research, and possibly Chicano studies minor. I'm working that out still. I'm a third year transfer, so I just got here. I spent like 3 years at City College of San Francisco, where I'm from. And my favorite class right now, I have two.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a seminar in Chicano studies, which is about like environmental justice, and that one's super cool because the professor is really young. So she's like relatable. She makes the environment really fun. The only thing is you can tell people don't do the readings because people have like ChatGPT open the whole time,
bruh,
which is frustrating. And then I'm also in a politics of the past class, which is about how colonizers robbed like artifacts from indigenous peoples, and like the politics of our museums and such. So that's pretty cool. I joined La Gente because I'm into journalism, and I'm Chicana, and I feel like those were where I'd find my people.
Yes. Yeah, I'm Evelyn, or DJ Yuck. I'm also a third year. I'm double majoring Chicano studies and labor studies, and a minor in geography. And this quarter I'm taking just 3 courses. One of them is like labor studies 191A. It's like more on research, so it's like kind of like my capstone for my major. So I have to conduct research. And then I'm doing geography like 130, I think. And that was kind of interesting. It's about food and environment, and yeah, just kind of like the food and like the patterns of food, and I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I've never heard anyone have like a serious discussion about food. I'm just like, girl, I just eat it. So it's been interesting. It's only like week 2, and like I'm very interested in that class. So I think that would be like my favorite one that I'm taking this quarter. And the last one I'm taking is Chicano Studies 101. I have like the same professor that I think I had him in the spring quarter, so he's pretty chill, and the class I feel like usually they have professors that are like kind of like, oh, you have to do all this reading and stuff, but he's pretty chill. And then I joined radio or like La Gente also because I don't know, it's just like, oh, like a Latino news magazine. I was like, I've never been part of that. So I thought that was interesting and like bringing like my experience kind of like on live air, but also just seeing what other peers talk about and their interest and kind of also like making friendships and community and stuff. So that is why I joined La Gente. So now we're gonna go into a section of who are we, kind of we each kind of like propose different questions to get to know each other. It's kind of more like juicy part and talk about ourselves. I just realized I didn't say where I'm from. I'm from East LA. But yes, so I don't know if anybody wants to lead this part or you guys had any specific questions you guys wanted to ask each other. Because I know you guys typed in, or I don't know who that was. Loki, that was me.
Start. Yeah, okay,
yeah, let's go for it.
As I said, I grew up like 15 minutes away from Westwood.
Mm-hmm.
In also a predominantly white neighborhood. So it's basically like a second Westwood, but like that's why I joined La Gente, because I wanted to be surrounded by other Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Chicana because my parents are from Honduras, but close enough.
Yeah.
I have yet to meet another Honduran, but it's alright, I'm used to that. And then when I was growing up, I wanted to be, I think, like a lawyer, a doctor, like typical careers that like make good money, quote unquote, you know. And I'm studying political science. I think a lot of people in my major want to be lawyers. That's actually not my plan. And sometimes I second guess myself because I'm like, damn, like that would make a lot of money. But I think that's just not my interest. I want to go into government, which is kind of like, yikes, because right now, like everything that's going on. But, you know, it's still my plan. And if I could live anywhere, I think I would live either in like Latin America or like in Italy. Fun fact, I'm learning Italian. Like I'm in my last course of like, I'm in Italian 6. I don't know. I'm really interested in languages. And like my plan is just to continue learning languages. My dream job would be like to be a diplomat. So I think that's very necessary. And also I think it's just cool. Like, you know, everybody should know more than one language, I think. Because it's just communication. Communication is essential in learning about different cultures and hearing people's experiences. And I'll pass it on to whoever wants to go next.
I can go. Because I hella put you on the spot last time. Where did you start? Where I grew up? Yeah. Where'd you grow up? I grew up in San Francisco. San Francisco proper. I'm from the Bay Area, but I feel like everybody here is like, I'm from the Bay Area. And when you're actually like from the Bay Area or when you're from San Francisco, it's like, you ask them like, okay, well, where? And they're like 2-3 hours away, which is like, no shade. I'm not trying to revoke your Bay Area card, but it's also like, you know, you can kind of tell where people are from. Yeah. But yeah, I was born and raised in San Francisco. I was raised in Bayview, Hunters Point, and then I was like, also grew up in the Mission. So it's like super black and brown community, super culturally rich. My community was super vibrant, is super vibrant. There's so much happening. I have FOMO all the time because I still obviously like see my family and see my friends' pictures and stuff. This weekend they're doing the Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta. I know we have our opinions also. We can dissect that later. But they're doing this like a parade where it's like lowriders and the people come out and they get all cute. And I have FOMO bad. What did I want to be when I was growing up? I was a diva. I'm still a diva a little bit. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be an actress or a singer, even though I didn't work at it at all. I just was like, I was really into Disney Channel, so much so that I was banned. Like, my parents banned me from watching Disney Channel because they said it gave me a bad attitude.
Diva training. It's like diva training.
Yeah, I was like, I think y'all gave me the bad attitude. Yeah. And if I could, what do I want to be now? I want to be comfortable. Like, I want to do something that I love. I love writing. I love taking pictures. I love listening to music. I love meeting people. I love looking at art, and I would love to like combine all of that and be able to like live comfortably. Like, I don't see myself. I just want to be happy. I don't want to sit at a desk. I don't want to like, you know, I want to live my own life and do things that make me happy and not feel like, you know, tied to the man.
Yeah.
Real.
Relatable.
And that's
Yeah.
And if I could live anywhere, I would be living. I love the coast of Oaxaca, so I would be living somewhere beautiful, tropical, on the beach. I have this whole fantasy. I'm not gonna elaborate on it. It's like I don't want to jinx it.
Now I want to hear.
No, I want to have beautiful brown babies and live on the beach. And I'm like, okay, girl, chill. I need a job first.
Yeah.
And then what was my? Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay,
Just the
I'll leave
ones
it at
I wanted to
Yeah,
end.
sure. This is whatever you guys.
I'll leave it
want.
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's you. Or that's you.
Yeah.
Me? I grew up in Escondido, which was, I think, like, over half of the population. It's in San Diego County.
Mm-hmm.
So, over, like, half the population is, like, Latino. And it's, like, mostly, like, most of the people that I've met, like, especially when I was going to high school, like, my high school was, like, 96% Hispanic, and then the majority of those people were, like, Latino. Majority of those people were, Mexican.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I was surrounded by, like, a lot of people that were, like, embracing of their community. Because I know we would have, like, lowrider stuff. Like, I was a part of MedChas, so, like, we put on, like, that for, like, what was it? I forgot what it was. But
Yeah.
it was some kind of celebration.
Uh-huh.
And then... Yeah, so it was, like, a lot of just being surrounded by the Latino community, I think, like, helped me, like, kind of become aware of the issues. And also, like, I think that ties into, like, what I kind of want to do in the future, which is, like, I'm still kind of conflicted because I want to do public policy specifically with, like, healthcare. Because, like, I kind of grew up seeing, like, everyone was, like, hesitant to, like, seek health care because, you know, like, whether being uninsured or just, like, fear of, like, very valid things because, like, honestly, like, the system is kind of, like, well, not kind of, it's, like, pretty broken and, like, people are just out for, like, the money. So, yeah, I think that was, like, the biggest thing. And then also kind of want to be an immigration lawyer because also I feel like that's also very relevant and, like, just growing up and seeing the way that people, like, fear, like, the way that they're going to be treated because they're undocumented and the way that they are currently being treated and, like, being persecuted. So I feel like that's really important and, like, something that I've always cared about. But when I was younger, I wanted to be a designer. I would always draw, like, clothes on my journal.
Me too.
And then, but then I realized I sucked. So I was like, never mind, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It works out. And then... If I could live anywhere, honestly, my parents are from Oaxaca, so I want to go back to Oaxaca, to be honest. I feel like I've never been, but I feel like it's a goal to go back because, like, my parents are like, oh, like, we have houses, and I don't know, I kind of want to go, like, explore. I want to be, like, more, like, even more, like, in touch with, like, the culture, and I feel like that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yes. I was like, wait. We have a lot of similarities. Well, for me. So, yeah, I'm, from East LA. So, it's like 30 minutes from here, I guess, without traffic. But, yeah, East LA, I think, has a very rich history. We literally, like, I've studied it before, like, in my Chicano studies classes. Like, yeah, like, the Chicano movement stuff and the Chicano moratorium. So, it's very full, like mostly, like, Mexican-American people, but also it's a very large immigrant community, and I think right now it's like a pretty hard time for my community because it's also like 95% or like more than that. Also like my high school was also like low-key 99% Latinos, so I've always been surrounded with other Latinos, so it was like a huge difference coming over here, but it's not that bad. I mean, it is bad. But but yeah, I mean, I've always been surrounded with that culture, and they also had like lowriders, and yeah, that's a whole other thing. A big part of like East LA is also like the lowrider culture, and I think every Sunday they have like we have like a main street called Whittier Boulevard, and they always do lowriders like with their families, and it's really beautiful. I don't go because like I don't know, I just like don't think part of it, but I think it's really awesome, and I think yeah, they've been able to create their own community, although yeah, I think they're trying to ban it, or they have like a history of, you know, like the police trying to shut it down, because they do end up closing like the whole street. So if you go through that street trying to go somewhere, like it's closed off because girl, it's like low rider time, like you can't go through. So but yeah, I think that's really amazing. People come together like literally every weekend to come and be in community, and it's pretty chill all the time that I've passed around. But yeah, growing up, I think I went through so many phases, but I also wanted to be like famous, like a diva. I was obsessed with Selena. So I didn't know she died, like, you know, I thought she was alive when I was a little kid, but then I found out she died, so that was really heartbreaking. But I was obsessed with Selena, and like I would try to perform like her and stuff. But of course I didn't serve enough because like I'm here. But yeah, and then I also really wanted to be a teacher, like in pre-K, which I think I could still do that when I'm older. I think education and like being an educator is really a crucial part in society. So maybe I can do that later when I'm like really old, and yeah, I feel like that would be a good profession. Cause also like, yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm also want to live comfortably, but like I don't mind if I don't make money. Like I just want to be happy, I guess. So yeah, I don't really know what I want to do when like I graduate and stuff. We shall see, but yeah, I'm like my majors and stuff, because I was also thinking of doing like going to law school, but then also so I was like, wait, like that costs money and stuff, and I don't know if I have that. And but also just like, yeah, I also wanted to do immigration. I think that was like a whole other thing. Like when I was applying to undergrad, my parents were like, oh yeah, like my daughter's gonna be an immigration lawyer. But I don't know about that, because I feel like that's too heartbreaking for me. Like, yeah, because then I'm like, no, like that's gonna be heartbreaking seeing families being separated. So I don't know if I can be part of that system. So then I was like, maybe not. But yeah, what other question was he? Yeah, that's a little bit about us. I kind of proposed another question because it's kind of related to what we do weekly about like the media of the week or whatever. So I wanted to ask you guys, what is your guys' favorite or like least favorite movie like growing up? Because I have like specific movies that I remember watching when I was younger, and there was some like I didn't like, and then some that I was like, wait, like this is my favorite, you know. So I don't know if you guys have any that you guys loved or like hated, because I'm like, I have a few.
I have some off the bat. Mm-hmm. My first, I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say three, actually. Two of my favorites. One was Lords of Dogtown, which is like, yeah. That was also like low-key, like when I was like, oh wow, boys. You know? Yeah. It was like the whole like surfer boy, skater boy, blah blah blah. And then also Nikki Reed, who is like so insanely beautiful. So I was like, oh my god, people are so beautiful. Yeah. And also Aquamarine, which was also one of those movies that I was like, oh my god, people are so beautiful. But it was so much fun, and it was like about being a girl, and I was such a little girly girl, so I loved being a girl. And then my least favorite movie was Kangaroo Jack. Have you guys ever seen that?
I don't think so.
But it's like
well, I'm like, let me know.
It's a comedy. I can't remember what his name is.
Wait, a parody?
Why didn't you like it?
I don't know. I think I had like anxiety as a little kid, so like there's like the scene where he comes to life and like it's so basically, I mean, you guys can watch it, but basically it's like a kangaroo that is like it's just too realistic, and the kangaroo is really scary, and it gave me like anxiety. And I think at one point they put like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's song, I can't remember, but they put it over in the movie, and so anytime like my parents would play that, like I would have a panic attack.
No. Oh my god!
So we like, I think they hid that movie. There was a couple movies that my parents literally had to hide the like CD covers because I'd freak out if I saw them. Yeah,
that's real.
Maybe you like dreamt with it and like it just gave you.
It was just too real. I think it was just not that funny to me. I'm sure it's funny now, but like as
never
a
going to
kid,
Australia.
No, I'm not going to Australia. Those things are big.
Yeah,
they are scary. They are scary.
And that's what the movie's about. He squares up on them, and it's like, oh god, it's so crazy.
No, they have weird creatures down there. Like, I always see the video.
Like spiders.
Those big spiders.
I fear spiders.
That's not a place I would live.
Wait, aren't you? Wait, who's? No, you're DJ Womp. I'm like, who the heck?
Oh, DJ Spidey.
DJ Spidey.
Yo, I don't know why
I thought that was you. I was like, huh?
Yo, never.
No.
Alright, I'll go with. I literally just have like 2 movies that I did not like growing up. My dad's a big like history fan. Fun fact: he actually like studied political science at UCLA too,
Ooh.
which I'm like following in his footsteps or whatever. Which,
Yeah.
I hate saying, but like whatever. Anyways, he made me watch. Have you guys watched Huckleberry Finn? It's like this old movie. It's super old, black and white. It's about. Well, actually, it's about race, so has a really important message. But as a kid, I was like 10, so like, I think the movie's from like the 60s or before that. So like, what 10-year-old? You know, I wanted to watch like Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
And then the second one, which I actually read this later on in school, was To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Once again, like, why would my dad think I would like that movie for fun? But then I did like watch it in class, and like, of course, the message is also very important. Because it's also about race and, like, you know, history of America, which I think is very important to learn about history. But I just did not like those 2 movies.
Like, your dad's trying to radicalize you. He's not trying to entertain you.
Dude, my dad will literally, like, make me watch documentaries about, like, Ronald Reagan and, like, all this. And I'm just like, dude.
My woke baby.
Yeah. Anyways, my favorite movie. These are the types of movies I want to watch when I was a little kid. The Parent Trap. Have you guys watched that?
Yeah.
I love that movie with Lindsay Lohan before she was crazy. Yeah.
She's yassified now. She bounced back.
Oh, she looks, dude, I need her, like, plastic surgeon's number because she looks crazy good.
It's good work, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. My friend's offering me a donut.
Oh.
But what's it called? The movie that I hated, my siblings, they've kind of always like sci-fi and like horror movies. I don't know, this is more like horror / action, but it's called Anaconda. It's a giant anaconda.
Oh yeah,
it has like J-Lo in it.
You haven't seen it? I would watch it with my aunt.
I hated that movie.
Oh my god!
Like the fact that it was like, I don't know, like the size disgusted me.
Yeah.
It was just overall disturbing movie. Like it haunted me. I was so scared of snakes. I was like, what if I encounter one? And then my favorite movie is The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, because he's so
I hate DJ Spidey. That makes sense.
Yeah. Wait, that's your favorite? Is that your favorite like hero? Like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
That's with Emma Stone, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the best movie. I was like, oh my god.
What was
That
your
like,
reaction when she died?
Dude, I was devastated. I cried the first time I saw it. I was like, this can't be.
No, that was a good scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when they brought it back.
It's a good movie. Like, I think he's the best Spider-Man out of them all.
I agree. I don't know. I'm not gonna. No comment.
No comment.
Let me ask the audience. For me, I really enjoyed. I think it's called Debajo la misma luna.
Oh.
Hey.
That's a
yeah.
That's a
so
heart wrencher.
sad.
Yeah.
It is. But I was also because it's a funny thing because my uncle comes out in the back.
Really?
Like it's like the one scene where they reunite, like the mom and the son, and they see each other from like they're across from the street.
Yeah.
And I remember we were watching it with my tío, and like it was that scene was coming up, and he's like, oh, like do you see that car in the back? And I was like, oh my god, like he's in the car, like he came out in the background. And, like, you can see, and I was like, wait, yeah. And then he's like, yeah, like, I was there when they were filming, and, like, I came out. And I'm like, that's so funny. So he's, like, forever in that film.
Mm.
So I really enjoyed that one. And I also liked, like, all the Disney stuff. I was obsessed, too. I didn't even have the fucking cable.
Channel. Oh, me neither.
Me neither. Yeah.
I used to watch cable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I, like, didn't have cable, but my aunts did, so I would be at their house every single time. And that's how I locked in. But also, I don't know if you guys remember, they had the Disney Channel website. And you can watch episodes for free.
Yeah.
So that's how I rewatched, like, Hannah Montana, like, Austin and Ally. And
I
more
don't know
of
if I
the
even
older
had a
stuff.
computer at that point. Or
Yeah.
laptop.
Yeah, I had, like, an iPad mini in 2015. And that's where I locked in. And I was like, that started my social media thing. And then my least favorite movies growing up was... One of them was... I don't know if you guys remember that movie. It's, like, Final Destination.
Yeah. No.
Those, like, the... I don't even know what I would call them, like, characters. Like, villains in the movie. They're little freaks.
The little freaks.
And they would just freak me out. And because my older cousins, it was, like, mostly, like... my older cousins, they would watch, like, all that MTV shit. And, like... Oh, do you guys remember, like, 100 Ways to Die? Or
That's
something?
what I thought. That's what I thought Final Destination was.
Yeah. No, Final Destination's, like, oh, it's, like, these people that, like, eat other people, but they're, like, fucked up. I don't know.
Well, there's different movies. So
There's
they
multiple.
die in, like, isn't it in one movie they die in multiple ways?
Yeah, they
It's,
do.
Yeah.
Those movies are just like, dude,
They're
like
disturbing.
there's a roller coaster one, and I'm like, I just rather not watch.
Wait, no. No, I love Final Destination. I'm talking about Wrong Turn. I messed up. Okay, no, I love Final Destination movie. There's a new one coming out. Final Destination, like 6 or something.
Yeah, you will not see me in the
Ew.
theaters.
Like, those
I
are
just
actually
looked it up. I
disturbing.
don't want to see that anymore.
Wait, Final Destination or Wrong Turn?
No, Wrong Turn. Yeah. I
Wrong
just saw
Turn's
that.
the one that I
What's Wrong
fucking
Turn?
hate. Look it up.
Yo,
No,
I
no, no.
I choose to sleep tonight.
No, yeah, don't.
I don't want to get traumatized. No.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I hated, Wrong Turn. Because it was very gory. And I remember my cousins would watch it and they would turn off the lights.
Oh my god, I hate it when
And my
cousins
tias would
do
leave because they were like, oh, we're going to go to the tienda or something. And I was like, bro, well, like, what do I do? Like, I don't have my iPad with me. So then I went,
iPad kid.
literally, iPad mini. And I would go in to, like, the living room.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what are they watching? And it would be, like, the most nasty, like, scene that I would walk
Same.
into.
Same.
I would low-key, like, peek and watch it because there was nothing else, like, I could do. Like, yeah, there was just, like, one TV. But I hated that movie. And, yeah. But Final Destination, I do like that one. I think it's funny.
Okay.
It's, like, a little bit stupid, but also, like, wait. Like, yeah.
Wait, is Wrong Turn just like straight up just gore? Like that's it? There's no plot, nothing?
Like murders or like actually, what's the plot?
Don't show us.
No, I'm just gonna read the Wikipedia thing. Wrong Turn is an American slasher film series created... Okay, who cares who created it? So it's a horror slasher movie about 6 20-somethings, they don't even name them, who are terrorized in the Appalachian woods. It's a remake of the same named 2003 movie. Okay, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's like, you do the wrong turn, and then it's like, okay, I don't want to show you guys. But yeah, it's just like, it's people that bump into this group of people, and their face is like deformed. Like, I don't know if it's what the issue is going on, but I just remember seeing their face, and their face is very, like, specific that the way they look. It's, like, creepy. And that, like, that face growing up, like, that shit was hard to, it was hard to go to sleep after I watched, like, that fucking single scene. It's just very disturbing, and, like, yeah, it's very gory and stuff, and, oh my god, their tongue. Their teeth. Okay, yeah, they're just ugly. Don't look it up, guys. But
yeah, I like can't watch horror movies because then I won't sleep. I'm like, I don't know. I have problems with that. It gives me anxiety.
I would love to. I feel like people who love horror movies, and they're so
Yeah,
excited about
really
them.
do.
And it seems so much fun.
And they like laugh. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's funny, and I'm like, that shit's not
I
funny.
can't do that. I have anxiety. I can't
a
do
little
that. Like, I do that for free every day. My life is a horror movie.
My life is a horror movie. And my least favorite one, I feel like this, I've talked about it with my friends before. It's the movie 2012.
Oh, I remember that. Wait, is that the one where the world ends?
Yeah.
Dude,
Did that come out like 2012 too?
Yeah.
It
No,
was
it came out earlier, right? That gave my sister so much anxiety.
It came out 2009.
Like,
Oh, that's terrible.
it was so bad.
I think I was really
Well,
paranoid
I
that
was
day
scared,
too.
yeah.
Because it was like, I don't know if you guys remember, it actually, when it was 2012, you know how everybody thought the world was going to end?
December
Yeah.
21st, the Mayan calendar ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're just stupid and they don't know how to read it.
Exactly.
But when I watched that movie, or when it would come out on like el canal like 52.
Yeah.
For mine, it's like Telemundo. Every time it would come up, I would be like, get the fuck out. Like, I didn't want to watch it because it would bring me so much anxiety too. Like the kangaroo movie.
Wait, how old were you guys in 2012? I'm like, I don't remember anything, but it was 7.
Oh, you were 7?
Yeah, like, how do you guys remember that?
Wait,
I don't know.
No, I watched it more further on because I remember, like, my younger sister, she was, like, 6 or 7, and then she would, like, wake up in the middle of the night, and she would cry, and she'd be like, the world is ending!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! No, that would freak me out. That would
No,
freak me out
that
so
was,
much.
that was
Yeah.
scary, but
It was a rough time.
it
Because
really
I saw the movie, and then it was that whole thing that the whole world thought the world was gonna end. That probably is when the anxiety started for me. But I was like, oh my god.
Guys, I don't remember that. I do remember. Do you guys remember, like, in 2020 when, like, Kim Jong-un and, like, Trump were, like, fighting on Twitter, and then everybody thought that North Korea was gonna bomb us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That was, like, in 2020. You guys remember that? Then
I'm trying to erase that.
Then I think everybody was like, the world's really gonna end. Like, then I believe you, because it wasn't based on a movie. It was based on like, tweets and, like, him fighting with, like, North Korea. So.
No, yeah, we've had rough times.
Yeah.
We've had rough times. But yeah, that was my least favorite movie, like 2012. Yeah. Do you guys have any other last questions we want to ask each other before moving on to the next one? Nope.
Yeah, I think we're all good.
Yep, we're 30 minutes in.
Yippies.
Okay. So our next section, it's kind of our like opinion-based section. We kind of named it like Yo Pienso. So this was gonna be about the hands-off protest that happened April 5th. So a little bit of background. Yeah, it took place on April 5th, and it was like a nationwide like action. It was like LA. Did you guys say like
DC, Paris.
Paris?
Yeah, Paris.
Apparently, I didn't know that. I thought it was only USA.
Yeah,
Paris.
people were saying, like, say no to, like, bullying, say no to, like, maybe corruption. They had, like, pictures of Trump. And I'm like, you know what? I like Parisians for that. They're, like, supporting us.
Okay. So, yeah. This hands-off protest, apparently it was worldwide then. I was going to say nationwide, but it's worldwide. I did not know that. So, yeah, it was organized by, I think, they're called 50501 movement alongside some Democratic Party aligned groups. And that was like my little comment. That's already like a red flag that it was by Democratic Party aligned groups. But practically, yeah, the purpose of this nationwide action was to kind of like show opposition to Trump's administration and his attacks on like literally everybody. But yeah, they launched like an Instagram post, right? Like saying all the demands. It was like no to, I don't know. I didn't write it down, so I don't know what it was. But it was a bunch of, right, demands saying no. Oh, do you have an
Wait, I have, okay, so in all 50 states, 1,200 locations, even in London, Paris, Berlin, Boston, Chicago, LA, New York, Washington, D.C., among other cities. And this coming days after Trump's announcement that the U.S. would impose import tariffs on most countries around the world.
Yeah, so I guess that ticked off the white people, and they mobilized in an amazing amount of numbers. Like I saw but yeah, like the demands, we were talking about it like earlier, that they like did not include practically like the whole masses, and like mostly the affected people that Trump has been attacking, which are black and brown and like indigenous people. Yeah, and then I think, yeah, they didn't include Palestine. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any comments or you guys had different takes on the action in general.
Well, you like brought up the fact that it was organized by like 50501, which just appeared out of nowhere. You know, it says like they're a grassroots political organization founded to protest the policies and actions of the second Trump administration. So like they just got here, and I feel like, I mean, I'm not trying to knock a protest. I think it's really good for people to be fired up. I think it's really good for people to like have that energy to organize and mobilize, especially. I just think it's the same thing that, like, we saw the first Trump administration with, like, the, mass mobilization. I mean, during the first Trump administration, what was that,
16, right?
Yeah, I was in high school. We did, we did walkouts, we did, like, the Women's March and blah, blah, blah. But it was, like, I, at least, like, in my communities, have been protesting, like, my whole life, and it's always, like, Black and brown people, it's always, like, inmigrantes, it's always poor people at the forefront, and it was always for, like, budget cuts and, like, immigrant rights and such, and, like, things that have been going on. Obama deported the most people that any president has ever deported, but I feel like people came out of the woodwork with, like, Trump being like, oh my god, this man is a super villain, which he is, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, negating that at all. It just, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's, like, I want to admire people's energy a lot, and I also want to be critical of the fact that, like, you know, like, where's this energy been the whole time? And also, like, it disappears. Like, it goes away. And we saw that with, like, the Women's March. Mass mobilization of women and people. That was also, like, not entirely inclusive of, like, women of color and trans people and, like, gender non-conforming people. Because of all the, like, language around, like, you know, this pussy grabs back. And it was a lot of, like, biological language. But, yeah, it was, like, you know, this huge movement. And it was happening, like, once a month? And then it totally stopped. And, like, Roe v. Wade wasn't encoded. It was, like, revoked already.
Yeah.
But we weren't, like, talking about it. We weren't mobilizing about it, you know? And then it was, like, the entire Biden administration. A lot of, like, fucked up shit was happening also, you know? And that's when, like, the entire, like, the U.S. and Israel teamed up and restarted the genocide and restarted the Nakba and yeah, and I feel like, you know, people want to be upset because it's like, you know, it's easy to be upset with Trump as a president, but also I'm like, damn, y'all, like, also we could have protested Biden. We could have, like, maybe we could have gotten a better presidential candidate than Kamala. That's what I think. That's what yo pienso.
An exclamation mark.
So.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, as you said, like, you know, our communities have been fighting, like, people like Trump in the past because, you know, yeah, like, he's not new. Like, this shit has been done. Like, the country has been anti-immigrant since, like, the beginning of the U.S.
Since the dawn of time.
The dawn of time, as the professors hate when we start the essays like that. But yeah, it's true. Like, our communities have been fighting, have been organizing around this, and then for, like, all of a sudden, you know, this mass mobilization that isn't including Black and brown and indigenous people and when they're organizing. Because, yeah, I think this fucking thing about what are they called? The organization called 5501. This, yeah, it was created by, I think these two people, which are also, they're Zionists. And then, yeah, it's like this article, well, not article, it's like an Instagram post from NJP, I think they're called NJPAL calendar, so it's like New Jersey Palestine. But yeah, it's just like, we need to, like, be aware of, like, who's organizing these mass mobilizations and who they aren't including, who they're, like, including and excluding. And yeah, because I mean, I was, the day of the demonstration or whatever, like the march, and like it was happening, you know, all over the place. And in LA, I was on the E-line and I saw like a bunch of white people, like, with, you know, like the cartelones saying, like, you know, shit about, like, democracy. And I was just like my first initial thought was like, wait, are they going to, like, some, like, right-wing, like, protest or something? But then I was, like, reading their signs and I was like, okay, these are just, like, liberals or something. Because, yeah, it was, like, talking about, like, oh, like, Trump is, like, going against our democracy, like, bringing back our democracy and stuff. But, like, when has it been a democracy? So it's just a bunch of stuff like that. And then, yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. Also, yeah, I think there's, like, a fluctuation of when people mass mobilize and then when they don't. So I think now, like why people are, like, mobilizing for this, because they're like, oh, they're taking away my rights and stuff. But, like, yeah, it's just a lot of feelings and stuff. But yeah, I was, like, reading from the New Jersey Palestine calendar in their Instagram post, and they were saying how, like, yeah, like, their movement that they did, it's more of, like, an illusion of saying, like, yeah, we're against the system, but then also, yeah, like, I mean, people were fired up and everything, but they weren't using this for, like, more of a radical movement against the system, in which I feel like they had, like, the opportunity to do that. But then also I'm like, I don't know, this wasn't organized by grassroots, like, organizers, because I know you mentioned, it says, was that from their website, like, the hands-off thing?
Yeah,
they're claiming,
if you
right?
just look up, like, the org that organized it, there's, like, a lot of questions, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just wild that, like, okay,
flags.
you founded it during, like, the second administration. It's like, okay, cool that you're, like, you know, starting.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's like, damn, like, there are so many people that have been, like, doing the work, you know?
Yeah.
That's why it just is, like, the Women's March, like, was born during the first administration. And then, like, the Black Lives Matter movement, the actual org, I think, was just, like, not founded by Alicia Garza, who, like, coined the term. But there was, like, that whole scandal where, like, they stole a bunch of money, you know, and they, like...
Oh?
Yeah.
Then
they bought, like, houses.
They ran off with hella money.
Property.
But they, like, capitalized... They, like, totally capitalized off the movement. And that's what's, like... That's the issue with, like... We can get into, like, the next point of, like, protesting for aesthetics. And, like, protesting because it's trendy. Is, like, that's such a trap, you know? When people's, like... hearts aren't in it, or when people are doing things because they think they need to, or when people are doing things because it's like, you know, it's the thing to do at the time, and there's not a lot of, like, organization, there's not a lot of thought, there's not a lot of, like, foundation laid. It's like, it gets dangerous, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's why I'm like, I don't know who these people are, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I feel like it just is a really interesting time for social justice and social activism, especially with, like, Instagram and Facebook. Because I feel like it's a lot of, like, Instagram protesting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that whole, like, economic boycott one day.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was, like, 2 weeks ago where it was, like, we're, like, mark your calendars, don't buy anything on this day. And it was, like...
Yeah, this has to be, like, an ongoing struggle. It's not just, like, one day. Like, that's not...
Like, when, like, everybody then what? You buy everything the first day, and then you have it all the next day.
Like, no.
And then you keep buying it the next day, you know? Just, like... It's, like, the trendy protest. It was, like, a cute little graphic of a bunny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, because, like, I didn't see anything about the hands-off protest. So it's also, like, who's getting this in their algorithm?
Well, not me. I did the deal. The white people are getting it.
Yeah. And then you see, like, the posters after the fact. Like, we were just talking about the, like, if Kamala was president, we'd be at brunch.
Like, shut up.
Yeah!
Like, shut up.
Yeah. And then people were tweeting about going to brunch after the protest, you know? It's like, okay, you're gonna go to brunch anyways, first of all. Second of all, like, if Kamala was president, like she'd probably be doing the same bullshit. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Trump is, like, a businessman, so he's, like, fucking up the economy. I'm like, sorry, y'all. Let it burn. I'm broke. Like, let's all be broke. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't want to see everybody. I'm not praying on nobody's downfall. But it just
except
like,
the United States.
I was like,
downfall.
I'm praying on the downfall of the empire. You
Literally.
know? Anyways, yeah. So it just is like the whole concept of Instagram protests, Facebook, Twitter, blah blah blah. It's like everybody wants to be trendy. You have to create a cute graphic. You rely on the algorithm to, like, get your message out there, your protest out there. And then it's like, who's running these corporations or these companies, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, just so much to say and so much to think about these things.
I think it's a difficult topic because I think anybody who, like, attends a protest, I'm a very positive person, so I think anybody has a good intention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think people willingly mobilize or attend a protest and post a picture with the malintentions, because it's like you're there for a reason. I mean, you got out of bed, You got ready, you got your little poster. I don't think you're doing it simply just for the aesthetics. Do I think that you might be slightly going for the aesthetics? Maybe, but like I think just numbers is a very important thing when you're trying to get your point across. And so for this hands-off protest, like, yeah, majority were white people, majority were probably middle-class Democrats. Do I think there could have been more inclusion? Of course, but I do think, I mean, I don't disagree with the messages, I don't disagree with the posters, I don't disagree with being upset about what Trump's doing to our economy, with these tariffs that he's putting and how it's fucking us all up. Like, I do think they had the right intention, but yeah, I mean, it's the whole... Well, I do understand why they kind of came out of nowhere, but it's like they should be more inclusive with orgs that have already been, you know, that have already been doing stuff like this. They should have, like, maybe collabed with other orgs, because it's like, I understand we're all upset with this, you know, his second term, and that's why maybe they just, like, sparked out of nowhere, but it's like, yeah, I mean, definitely, like, I didn't hear anything about it. I mean, I think a lot of other people didn't, so it's like, they should have got their point across. That would have created more numbers. I mean, would have created fucking, like, more people of color there as well. But I was mentioning this might be controversial, but I think the fact that white people are protesting, dude, that says a lot about the country. I think that would say a lot to Trump, because it's, I mean, what you guys have said is right. Mostly people of color and lower class people are the ones who are protesting, because they're the ones most affected by the system. But now that we're seeing white people protest, that's kind of like a shock, where it's like, damn, like, shit's real and shit's bad if we're seeing white middle class Democrats protesting. It's probably, I wonder, like, what percentage of them is, like, their first time protesting.
Oh,
Actually.
That's, like, in the posters, too. It's, like, a lot of the posters were, like, I mean, along the lines of, like, it's so bad that I'm out here. And it's, like, a white boy, you know? Like,
yeah.
It was this one poster that, like, went viral that's, like, it's so bad that, like, even the introverts are here, you know?
I saw that, yeah.
Like, shit like that.
Like, I'm not gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah.
That can be twisted. Like, I don't know how to feel about that, but it's like, I mean, that shows the reality of things. It's like, everybody and their mom is out here protesting for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with those points, but I also think that, like, it's kind of, like, to the point where it's like, well, why didn't you speak out about, like, other issues? Like, even if it doesn't have to do directly with, like, your community or, like, people that are, like, whether it's, like, the same race or, like social class background, I think you should speak up kind of just for everyone. And it kind of does come off as, like, performative for, like, the same reasons that they've mentioned, that, like, it's not until now, and it's like they'll be very, like, moderate about, like, issues, like, when it comes to, like, Palestine and, like, the whole genocide that's going on there, and, like, with, like, literally everything else, and it's like you won't speak out until it's like it's very directly, like, towards this administration, when we've tried to like get across that it's, like, not even just this administration, which, yeah, like, it's fucking hell, but, like, also, like, the institutions themselves have been, like, literally set up to, like, literally, like, basically, like, destroy, like, crush spirits of, like, people who are, like, try to organize and, like, try to just come out of, like, circumstances, whether that's kind of, like, being, like, low income, you know, kind of, like, getting an education, and stuff like that, just that being, like, inaccessible. And I think, like, a lot of people, like, up until now have been, like, very, like, moderate, just because Trump is, like, very, like, an extreme of, like, obviously, like, stuff that we hate to see, which, like, him fucking up the economy and just, like, taking everything to, like, another level, with also with the way that he says things. But I think there's been, like, a lot of policies and stuff where it's, like, it's very obviously, like, blatantly, like, anti-immigrant, like, people of color. And so it kind of just sucks that it has to be until now, when, like, there's already been, like, so many lives that have been affected. Like, that's kind of what I was thinking, too, is, like, the way that people are, like, moderate until, like, it's kind of, like, sort of too late. Because it's, like, he's already elected. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't do anything, but I'm saying, like, where was this energy, like, before, like, we're already, like, kind of getting up. We're already getting fucked over, like, royally. So, like, why weren't we speaking about this? Why weren't we, like, talking about, like, literally kids being killed in Palestine? So it's, like, why can't we speak out? Or, like, what's going on in Congo and, like, so many places where it's, like, people are just, like, too like moderate and silent about stuff, where it's like until it like directly impacts you, or it's like something that's like it's getting close to like it's gonna eventually impact you, like when it's like tariffs and like stuff that's economic is when people start to give a fuck, and it's like, well, like, does a human life not mean anything to you? And I think that's like the thing that pisses me off is like I got reminded of like I remember in one of my history classes in high school we read like the letter from Birmingham by MLK, and like the fact like where like one of his quotes he says like something along the lines of like white moderates will like are like very dangerous because it's like they'll just tell you to like sit back or like chill out, like eventually like you'll get your rights, eventually like you'll be equal, and it's like no, like you have to like actually do stuff, and it's like, well, we should all like unite and like speak out against it. Like it shouldn't just be people of color that are speaking out against it. Like, you don't have to directly be a part of the community to, like, empathize and to know that, like, what's going on. Like, the institutions, administrations are, like set up to, like, fuck people of color over. And, like, we've seen that time and time again. And it's, like, I feel like everyone should just, like, start doing more. And, like, I myself even included, because, like, I know I'm not perfect. So, like, when you mentioned, like, the don't buy things, I think, yeah, like, it should be for, like boycotting companies who like don't serve those communities or who are like set out for the money and like to oppress people of color. Like there's so many like stuff where it's like, why would you support that community? Like there's like local businesses, there's like farmers markets, there's like your local farmers, but it's like you don't have to buy produce from like certain like grocery stores or chains that like don't support you having equal rights, from like the whole of them like getting rid of DEI policies. Like we see like companies and corporations' true colors, and like the way that they're just money hungry, and it's like why wouldn't you just put your money like where your mouth is, basically, too? Because like that's kind of how we start like enacting change, and like obviously protesting as well is like very important. Yeah. But also I think like a big thing is like money, with like the way that like the capitalistic society is like set up, is like the emphasis on like money and like being rich. So like if you stop supporting corporations and you start like thinking about where truly your money goes, and like obviously myself included as well, is like I feel like that's kind of where the power's at, just because of the systems like set up. But also like like being involved and just like literally like going into like different places and just learning about like different struggles from all groups of people, because it's like just being enclosed and like not learning about stuff, I feel like it just kind of like makes us ignorant. So I feel like we really have to like start educating ourselves as well.
Yeah, and that kind of connects to our next last two sections, because yeah, like we cannot be relying like on this system, because we already know it wasn't set up for us, and they've been trying to kill us, and they have been killing us with their different strategies, whether that's through like the police or like the prison system. So yeah, just kind of like relying on each other, and like in our next one, I'm gonna give a shout out to Westwood Mutual Aid, they have been doing the work on our UCLA campus every Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. in Westwood Boulevard in LeConte. So they've been doing mutual aid practically since spring quarter, kind of like after the encampments. They've been setting up like on the lawn. I'm pretty sure if you guys have passed by like through Chick-fil-A that you've seen them. But yeah, like we're out there like every Friday, creating that community with our community members who have been affected by the system, and we share a similar struggle because we're all under in the core of the empire. So I think it's important to also if you have like monetary money to give, they have a Venmo, and I think it's just Westwood Mutual Aid, or you guys can look at their Instagram, and they'll probably have it linked in their bio if you guys want to donate monetarily. But yeah, it's like every Friday 2 to 5. So tomorrow, if you guys want to stop by, our listeners, feel free to come by and just go up to us and be in community, or any way you can help. I think it's important to have those conversations with like specific organizers that are doing the work on the ground, but also just engaging with our community, like outside of this bubble of like UCLA, and actually like in Westwood and stuff, because yeah, like I know we're all like in the Hill or like on the university apartments. But yeah, that was kind of my noticias de la semana / like resource. I don't know if anybody has any other last resource you guys want to pitch in. Yeah. Because we have 1 more minute.
I did. Well, did we want to talk about my topic, or will that be too long?
Maybe not, because we have 55 minutes.
We'll put a pin in that one. I feel like that one we gotta talk about a little bit.
Because
more.
this is like an ongoing thing, and I think it can be a whole episode. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we have really
next
good
week.
Next
A
week.
little preview. We'll be talking about everything that's going on the UC campuses with our international students and the visa terminations. And so yeah, we'll talk about that more next week since we ran out of time.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay. We didn't talk.
Yeah. And I guess I think to end off things, we can quickly do our media of the week if you guys have any. If you guys are movie enjoyers, Criterion channel is having like an ongoing, I think since like Tuesday, they're doing free movies, and usually you have to pay for like a subscription, but right now they're doing free movies. So like I think right now it probably ended already, but it's like like because they run on ET time or something, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Because we're So it probably
EST.
bitch, ET.
I agree.
Well, that's what I meant. So they're showing movies like Paris, Texas, and Twin Peaks, and like other movies. So if you guys want to have some free media, there you are. Like, I think it'll be up there till like Monday or Sunday. So yeah, that's mine. Any last?
Mine was just the conclave. If you guys are interested about learning about the history of the Roman Catholic Church and how they elect the Pope, which I don't know what nerd would be interested in that, but I was. So if you guys want to watch that, check that out.
Yes, a lot of movies. Any other last thoughts or like recommendations for our listeners?
I say go to Sunset Rec if you can. Go enjoy the sun. Bring a book and listen to music. It's so beautiful this week.
It's been
gonna
so
be
beautiful.
Beautiful next week.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Go outside.
Yes, go outside.
Yeah.
Go outside, y'all.
It's a
See
hard
the
time,
sun.
but
Get
also
some
smile.
fresh air.
Touch grass.
Yes. Do you have one? Well, you kind of did with MLK.
Alternus? Yeah, read that letter.
Yes.
Read that letter, girl.
Guys, get on that Google and read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was watching. I was listening to a podcast like about the history of the Black Panthers, and that was like really interesting because it was like I forgot what the podcast was called, but it kind of like was going over like different like parts of like history, and so like it kind of got there, and I just found it very interesting. I feel like it's a very like misunderstood, and like I feel like there's a lot of like stigma there, so I feel like that was a very interesting podcast to listen to.
Yes, I support armed struggle. Just letting everybody on you say every day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm like literally like we have our posters. I know you guys can't see, you guys can only hear, but we have a lot of posters in our office, and yeah, I think there you go, El Salvador. Armed resistance. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. That was our second episode, and now it's done.